I got a special guest, and we're going to be talking about this NFL season, our predictions on awards, and also we'll be talking about the Super Bowl too. Let's get into it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can be up to date on when the next video drops. All right, so today I have special guest, the Silver and Black Report. If you could go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, if you guys haven't known, I've been doing the Raider Report and all that. Also on YouTube. That's literally what my name is, the Silver and Black Report. Go check it out. We did a video like this pretty much last night too. If you guys want to go check out that video.
Definitely, it's a great video. Please check out his channel. Let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. First and foremost, let's talk about offensive player of the year. In this collage that I made here, I got some heavy favorites here as far as Vegas goes and as far as last season went. But there is one guy that I did put up here that doesn't even really belong to a team. I just put him up here as a dark horse, and that's Jimmy Garoppolo. It's no telling what Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be up to once the season begins, or if he's even going to be playing. So far, the 49ers are not even welcoming him on the team, and there's trade talks between the 49ers and the Giants to possibly land him. The Seahawks were trying to get him as well. And then with this Deshaun Watson thing going on, he could end up being a Brown. But we'll see how it goes. But who do you think is going to come out on top of the Offensive Player of the Year award?
My two favorites, honestly, right now are Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's situation only got better with quarterback spot, and his line kind of stuck the same. I don't think there was any big changes, so he still can really rush and be effective in that area. But if his receiving attack can only get better, he can win that.
Definitely. With Jay Jettis, his route running is amazing, man. I love to watch him run routes. And as long as Kirk Cousins throws the ball to him at least 15 times a game, he could definitely get that award. For a wide receiver to get this award, it'll be a lot of targets they'll have to be receiving, like in the 180s probably. But Jay Jettis definitely has the potential to do so. But in my opinion, there's two guys here that are my heavy favorites. Both of them are out of the AFC. And this first guy is pretty much my heavy favorite for the award, and that's Josh Allen. Josh Allen coming back, number 2 defense in the league last year, number 1 offense in the league last year. And he's coming back for his next season of pretty much everything going right for the team. Yes, they did lose Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley, but I think he'll do enough to really show the league that, hey, Patrick Mahomes had his time. Now is my time. And
his weapons only got younger. So,
yeah, he got one of the best wide receivers in the league in Stephon Diggs that you really can't replace, man. So definitely have him as my heavy favorite. But I do have another guy here, and I think this guy definitely has a strong case as long as he stays healthy. This gentleman is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, top 10 in the league in rushing last year, only playing half of the season, still finishing top 10. It's amazing. We may never see nothing like that ever again. People don't talk about it, but it was pretty special to see. And if Tennessee Titans run him into the ground like they did last year and years before, we could definitely see him finish the season with a 2K year, or who knows, we could see a 15-year with 500 yards receiving. Who knows what'll happen? But if Derrick Henry is the workhorse like they think he'll be this season, you could definitely see something huge out of him. Now, some other guys that I did put up here was Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes can somehow manage to win over the AFC West, which would be a tall task, and also climb over the hill, not having Tyreek Hill anymore, no pun on words intended, that'll be pretty huge for people to see. And I think he could definitely win this award as well. But Jonathan Taylor, real all-purpose back, if he comes out and he shows the league that, hey, I'm the next big thing, and he has a year like CMC had in 2019, or like Chris Johnson had back in the day, he could definitely end up winning this award. Kirk Cousins, you mentioned Jay Jettis. Kirk Cousins is the guy throwing him the ball. If Kirk Cousins somehow finds a way to give Adam Thielen the ball like he did Jay Jettis, and make both of them productive top 5 wide receivers like they're both capable of being, he could definitely win this award by his lonely. And then we got to round off this graphic that I made here, Kyler Murray. He's my dark horse for this award. And I'm saying that because Kyler just signed a huge contract. He has a lot going against him this year. His number one wide receiver is going to be out for 6 games. His number 2 wide receiver, Hollywood Brown, we don't know if he's going to start at the beginning of the season or not. And he just has a lot of adversity he has to come over. But he's special. Dual threat, incredibly accurate, has the arm to back it up. If he comes out and surprises people with potentially getting the best record in the NFC, he could definitely win this award. Right, and now we're going to get on to the next award here, and this is Defensive Player of the Year. Who you got for this award?
To me, it comes down between 2 guys, which are both, I guess, linebacker kind of things. You have TJ Watt, outside linebacker / edge, or Shaquille Leonard after being all that. I mean, he's been disrespected all offseason. He can really show this league like, hey, this is who I am. And I think he's the top linebacker in the league undoubtedly right now.
Definitely, Shaquille Leonard is one of those guys that you got to mention in the conversation for best middle linebackers in the league. Now, this award, it seems very, very, very heavy on pass rushers, and there's a huge chance that it could go to another pass rusher, but we'll see, man. I would love to see somebody in the secondary get that award.
I find it disrespect for him not even being the top 3 in some people's cases. Like, there's no other linebacker in the league that can do what he does. He does, and he's a 5-time Pro Bowler in 5 seasons. Like, none of these other linebackers are even compared to him right now. Like, he's, to me, undoubtedly the number 1 linebacker in the league right now. So,
yeah, definitely, he's definitely one of those guys. But I would love to see somebody in the secondary win this award, man. Like somebody like Jalen Ramsey, or who knows, Trey White, somebody that nobody expects. We'd love to see a dark horse come out of nowhere and win this award. It would be great to see. But as far as my favorites go for this award, it's hard for me to pick anybody other than Aaron Donald with the performance he put up last year, especially winning that Super Bowl last year and basically winning the game for his team as a defensive lineman, which is almost not heard of unless you're talking about Von Miller in 2015. But my favorite is Aaron Donald, and in second place is basically my dark horse with J Ram. Both of these guys are teammates. I just want to see somebody else at a different position win this award, because it always goes to a linebacker or somebody who's rushing the passer. Right, let's go ahead and get into this next award here. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Plenty of rookies that got drafted top 10, top 20, first round, second round, third round. Running backs definitely got drafted kind of late in this year's draft, as a lot of teams did not need them. So it may be a surprise to see a running back come off the board here and win this award. But who do you have winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year?
it comes down to a few guys here. I got on my first slot, it'd be Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to be in a high role this year on the Jets, just depending on how many catches he gets. I have Drake London in that consideration, as he's a wide receiver 1. Again, quarterback situation is probably non-existent at this point, so we'll see. And the final guy is a running back, actually. Very up and coming on his own depth chart because of unfortunate events. Seattle, Kenneth Walker. I actually do have Kenneth Walker in that consideration, just because now you look at it, he might be the running back 1 because of unfortunate events with Chris Carson. Happy retirement, by the way. But if he's the lead back and he can go out and have like a 1,200-yard season, who says he can't win Offensive Player of the Year or Offensive Rookie of the Year? Here we go.
Definitely, and that's the thing we see with a lot of these guys when they first come into the league. Somebody gets injured or misses a week, and they just come on and burst onto the scene. So I would love to see what Kenneth Walker does preseason, because he's one of those electric guys that could definitely make a huge impact at the next level. But I'm going to switch it up. I know we just made a video on your page about this award, but I've been watching a lot of Falcons practice, man, and Drake London is surprising me, man. In my opinion, I think he might be Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I did a live show with my guy RYA, and we both reacted live to that draft, and we had no idea the Falcons were going to pick him, and we both called him a bust. But the things that I'm seeing out of training camp, man, this guy may be far from a bust, and maybe the Falcons knew something I didn't know. And I'm picking him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. My dark horse for this award, my extremely dark horse. This horse is pitch black. Is Montrell Williams with the Denver Broncos right now. We drafted him in the 5th round. He's having an amazing training camp with us. Tim Patrick just went out. We got KJ Hamler coming back. We're easing him back in. But it seems like Russell Wilson is loving him as a target. And we already know he's going to be the kick and punt returner. Who's to say that he can't win Offensive Rookie of the Year somehow, some way? But like I said, he's my extremely dark horse, as I do not see him having over 1,000 yards. But hey, crazier things have happened in the league.
I think another actual dark horse, really, and it's because for me, he's not going to be high. It just depends on the health of the team. But if Michael Thomas isn't to start out the year getting all the targets that some people think he will be, Chris Olave, if he's stealing those targets and he's getting all these receptions, he could be another guy that you look at.
Definitely. He has great hands. Another guy to mention is Sky Moore. Not a lot of people are talking about him. He got drafted to the Chiefs. We all know Patrick Mahomes likes his speedy wide receivers, and that's a pretty nice place for him to land. It's all in the preseason. So we're making this show. We may have to make another one after we see the preseason, but yeah, we'll see how that all goes. Let's get on to this next award here. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Ooh, I actually changed up my pick since last night. I actually took a lot of thought into this one, and it's because this guy is going to be on a top 5 defense. He's in the graphic. Kyle Hamilton, I think he really surprises people. I mean, he might have been drafted into the perfect position. Like, I thought possibly at one point we were going to have to see him in a Jets uniform, and he was going to have to be the next Marcus May, where he's a talented safety that's just getting fucked over by the Jets. And then I'm just like, well, wait a minute. This guy just got drafted probably to the best position that he could have been drafted if you're looking at defensively. Kyle Hamilton in a secondary where you have healthy Marcus Peters now, healthy Marlon Humphrey. Never mind, they don't have Anthony Averett. I was about to name him, but we have him. Who's the third corner? Fuck. But they still have a very talented secondary. Possibly, I would say it's a top 5 secondary. Top 10 if you want to stretch it a little further. If you make an argument for the right guys, you can make an argument for the Texans corner now. It's not Sauce Gardner. It's What's
Derek Stingley Jr.
Yeah, it's Derek Stingley. You can make an argument for him too in that consideration.
And their cornerbacks were Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, and Kyle Fuller. That was they just
I heard. I think Kyle Fuller had a rough year last year, but he'll bounce back. I think this year with having a better secondary around him and stuff.
Yeah, it's less pressure on him this year, man. And he's going to be maybe in that slot, maybe a backup role, but I think he'll definitely thrive.
Who's the safety duo with Kyle Hamilton?
Hang on. I just got off of the page. The safety that is with him on the other side.
Because they lost 2 safeties this offseason. I don't know who they replaced them with.
They signed the guy from the Saints. I can't remember his name. Marcus Williams.
Oh, yeah. No, that's why. Yeah, he's another star. Yeah, that secondary is top 5 to me right now. I don't think there's 5 secondaries that are like on paper that are better than them. Like Denver's good, but I don't think they have like all that star power like they do. Like they definitely have a number 1 corner and number 1 safety, but like the Broncos are one of the teams that are in that consideration for best secondaries. I think the Ravens might be in that consideration with the Packers and the Bills for like number 1 and or the top 3, because I mean, I don't know, on paper those are the top 3 secondaries to me right now.
Yeah, definitely. They have the star power for sure. Especially with the Baltimore Ravens. I definitely agree with you. Kyle Hamilton landed in a perfect position. I mean, before the draft, they had him a top 5 prospect, and he fell to like, I think he got drafted like 17, 15-ish. But yeah,
Wasn't he
he's
in the
definitely in a
20s?
good position.
I thought he was like
He may have
23 or
been.
something.
He may have been. It was a drop that nobody predicted, man. This guy
No,
has all the talent in the world. He put
I
everything on
think he's
tape,
the best safety coming out of this class by a distance. Maybe even
hands
he.
down.
I mean, if you're looking at secondary players, he was probably right there with Gardner and stuff. But my only issue with it was Sauce Gardner was he didn't play all this competition that Kyle Hamilton did. So we don't know how good he truly is until we see him play on the field against real talent. Because again, and this isn't to discredit what he did. He had a great college career, but he played in the American, and that's not really that tough of a conference if you're looking at the star power wide receiver and tight end and stuff. So
Definitely, and he stayed on one side of the field the whole time. He didn't really chase the number 1 wide receiver on the other team, but I mean, he still put up some nice tape, and his footwork and his standing is amazing, man. I think Sauce gonna be okay, but
me,
this may
yeah,
be
no,
lazy. This may be lazy with my 2 picks, man. My number 1 pick for this award is pictured here in the graphic. It is the guy in the middle, Aiden Hutchinson. I would love to see him do something amazing in Detroit. This guy I thought was going to be the number 1 pick. When you watch any game of Michigan last year, him and David Ajabo popped off the screen. You could clearly tell these guys were in a league of their own, and David Ajabo is not going to be playing, so he can't be in this conversation. Aiden Hutchinson can't be guarded, man. Tackles are going to have a rough time with him. He's one of these, to me, TJ Watt, JJ Watt, Miles Garrett. He's going to be in that type of conversation. This guy has the talent. He passes the eye test. But yesterday was a Hall of Fame game, and this guy snuck up on me, man. I'm a UGA fan, and he snuck up on me. Trayvon Walker looks amazing. That Hall of Fame game was crazy yesterday. His first play was a roughing the passer, but still he got there. And that's not something that you see on consistently from a rookie linebacker pass rusher, period.
I'm not gonna bash him, but I expected him to fucking kill Brandon Parker. And Brandon Parker, you are some shit. I talked about that on my show. This guy, like Brandon Parker, bro. Holy shit.
Hey, man. No Brandon Parker slander here, man. I went to school with Brandon, man. No Brandon Parker slander, man. Brandon, hey, it's the preseason. Let it go. We moving on, man. We moving on. Next award. Let's get into it. Comeback player of the year. Who you got there?
I mean, you could. Well, I mean, could you really? Could Jameis Winston be in this consideration since he did play like 9 games?
Yeah, he definitely can. He got injured.
Yeah.
I think Alex Smith won the award, and he got injured the halfway through the last season.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, to me it's between like, well, how often did Saquon didn't he play most of the year?
I think Saquon played like 3 games last year.
I don't know. I'd have to look back on that, but no, I mean, I think it's between for me Derrick Henry and Jameis Winston.
Definitely. I was going to say famous Jameis, but you just brought up somebody huge, man. Saquon Barkley. He should be a shoo-in for this award, man. As long as the Giants feed him the ball, this is his award to lose. The guy only played a few games last year, a handful of games, and as long as he stays healthy, No way this goes to anybody else unless Jameis Winston has less than 10 picks, which I highly doubt. This guy's a pick monster. The guy threw 30 picks in 1 year. But yeah, Saquon Barkley's
Yeah,
definitely
man.
going to be my pick for this award here. Definitely.
He did play in quite a few games actually. It was the previous year he played 2 games. This year he played looks like 11 games. 162 attempts, 593 yards. No, that was a pretty shitty O line, so we're not gonna say too much. Oh, if what's his name? The Alabama guy, if he can work out to that left tackle spot or whatever they decide to play him at, right tackle, left tackle, if the tackles can block and their whole line can at least be top, 20, he should be pretty okay.
Definitely. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next award. And it is not even an award. It's the big game, the Super Bowl. Who you got making it to the big game?
I'll say the Bills. Oh, I feel like the Bucks, like day by day, are slipping even out of this race. They've lost 2 linemen. We don't even know how long they're. What's that? Anyways, it's to me the Bills, and you could say the Rams, and I think the Bills win.
Definitely. I think that's a good list to have there. As far as nobody gets injured or there isn't another Kansas City miracle that happens, I definitely see the Bills making it to the big game. But as far as the NFC goes, I think the NFC is wide open. But I got the Packers making it to the big game. Aaron Rodgers is going to be high off ayahuasca, and he's going to make it to the big game, man. But I definitely want to show this on my show because NFL Fox just released this about an hour ago. This is who they have as their projected top 5 teams on the AFC and NFC. Hopefully it shows it on my screen. Hopefully it shows it, and it's not going to show. But you can check it out. It's on their Instagram. They have, as far as the NFC goes, they have the Cowboys, Rams, Bucks, 49ers, and Packers as their top 5 teams. And then as far as the AFC goes, they have the Chargers, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, and the Broncos. These guys have 3 teams from the AFC West in their top 5. I think that is ridiculous.
I think they're high off I think they're high off the Chiefs, to be honest. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard for anybody to. It's really hard for anybody to say anything bad about any team in the AFC West to me because it seems like all these GMs had a good off season, and it's really on these players and how they compete. Because every single one of these teams can make it to the playoffs at least, let alone the Super Bowl. Yeah. But the Ravens, man, we talked about their secondary a little bit earlier. They also got Calais Campbell coming back. Their linebacking core is pretty good, and their secondary is ridiculous. Not to mention they have Lamar Jackson on the other side of the ball. Now, if Bateman comes out and has a hell of a season, it would make sense. But I would definitely like to see what kind of a season Mark Andrews has. I think we may see something historic with him, as it seems like he's Lamar Jackson's favorite target.
Man, we'll see what happens. I don't know if I can even rank them. I mean, like, with their offensive deficiencies and them being, to me, so low as an offensive team, like, we don't know what their running game is going to be outside of Lamar. Like, their running game is persistently only off of guys who came off ACLs, so we don't know how they're going to be. It's even been proven that year one drop-offs happen after an ACL, so we'll see outside of Lamar. And then their wide receiver core probably regressed, like it was probably the worst offseason for them in terms of offense, where they really made no moves to improve the offense. Like, their only weapon I can name is Rashad Bateman. They let go of Hollywood Brown and Sammy Watkins. They're two top targets from last year, and now you have what? Devin Duvernay. Is he supposed to be your wide receiver one, wide receiver two? Like, I mean, that's their only issue. And then, like, I would say another problem would be depth. They really have, like, outside of Mark Andrews, say they lose him, right, to any injury, they don't have a backup that I think that they can step up with. It's tough. It really is. It's really hard to grade them based off a lot of question marks on their offense. Is their offense going to be able to score points? Because I don't think we're in the NFL where they can every single week stop an offense from scoring under 17 points. No matter how great that secondary is, we're in such a high explosive offensive era where regardless, teams are going to score, right? I mean,
definitely. And with the Ravens, like you mentioned, it seems as though they just didn't even want to get better on offense this year, this offseason, because there's plenty of wide receivers out here that are available that they haven't even reached out and tried to bring into the facility. I mean, you got Cole Beasley. I hope this isn't freezing on me. Can you see me and everything? Everything is still rolling. It's frozen on my
yeah.
screen. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Um,
lagging.
you got Cole Beasley who's available, T.Y. Hilton who's available. I mean, Odell may come back later in the season, but these guys haven't even brought in any more talent for Lamar. So it really seems like they're putting Lamar in a bad situation. And I don't think they'll even.
His situation, I mean, and that's another thing to bring up. I don't even think they want to pay Lamar.
Yeah,
That's
facts.
they're really it's hard to grade them off. Like, their future is so shaky. The way that they set this team up, it was only to honestly fail. But I think that they can succeed. I really do. But they're set up to fail. I mean, you can't really expect a defensive team to go win you games. Like, I'm not trying to compare them to the Bears, but that's literally what the Bears were. They were a really good defensive team on paper last year, where they had Khalil Mack and this whole great pass rush, an up-and-coming secondary, and we knew they were going to fail, but, like, the Ravens, like the Bears, have set their quarterback to fail.
Definitely. And it's not even like they try to protect him with getting a nice offensive line. It just seems like they're just hoping for the best with Lamar, and they're gonna see where it takes them.
I mean, the Packers, they build defense, but at least they have a run game to go off of. They have a great old line, and they have a better wide receiver core, I would say, a better core around their quarterback. I mean, Sammy Watkins is going to be okay with that team. Randall Cobb, you have a rookie, Christian Watson, who I think is going to be very good with Aaron Rodgers. That's just the difference between the Packers and the Ravens. Two great defensive teams, but the Packers are on a whole different level. If you're looking at, a team, and that's why it's hard for me to say they're even a top 10 team in this league based off only really one good thing about their team is defense. Like, you can point at the AFC, like, I'm taking the Bills over them. I'm taking Cincinnati. They may not have a better defense, but their offense is just miles ahead. They built their quarterback up a team, and I think they're not going to be as hesitant to go pay him. Outside that, you look at, like, outside their division, like the Chiefs, they're a more stabilized team, I would say. The Raiders, I would say, are a much more stabilized team. They have an up-and-coming secondary that's young, but they also have a good pass rush to add on. But they also have possibly a top 3 offense this year, if you look at what they have on paper. It's not like even further than that, there's probably 10 to 15 teams that are probably better than this team. Like, no hate towards Lamar, but he can only do so much. And this is probably people keep talking about how he's going to improve, but how are you supposed to improve as a quarterback when your team around you gets worse?
Speak on it. I mean, you see all these other teams around the league. I'm gonna take this off. You see all these teams around the league take care of their quarterbacks, and they really do a good job of it. I mean, look at what the Bengals did in 3 years. They went from being one of the worst teams in the NFL to making the Super Bowl. Like, this is something that
And
what we talked about for years. But I mean,
it's
Jamar Chase,
something.
top
It's
10 wide
something I
receiver.
saw with as a Raider fan, something you saw every year. They have a quarterback that is more than capable of leading your team, and he did that last year under all that. And they finally built him a team. They finally decided to give him a stabilized team, a defense that's at least not going to be bottom 5 of the league. Old line has question marks, whatever. It's going to improve over the year if you have your old line coach. They finally gave him a stabilized team to build around. The Cardinals, question mark on what they are doing right now. The Jags, I don't know what they're really doing. I don't know. I can't tell you if they improved or not.
I think they're playing the long game.
They're playing the long game, but
Yeah.
at least these teams are making a conscious effort to say, hey, listen, we believe you in as a quarterback. And I can't tell if the Ravens actually believe in him or they just believe in this defense. Yes, they improved defensively. They got a better defensive coordinator, all that. Yes, but that's cool and all. But your defense will not matter at the end of the day in this high-end, explosive AFC. I can't, to a certain extent, I don't want to put the Ravens in the playoffs because what are we getting out of the Ravens? We don't know what are we going to see out of the Ravens this year. Is their offense going to be able to average 17 points a game? I don't know if they can. If they don't have a run game and your number one target is Mark Andrews, he's a great tight end. But if he's getting double teamed every play, you can't throw him the ball every play.
Exactly.
They're not going to win just by playing defense. It's not. And, as we look back into it, they're a good team, but it's what are they? What are they? They good, bad? We don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they care about Lamar, honestly. It seems like they're kind of pushing the guy out of there. Because, I mean, even getting rid of Hollywood Brown, that should have showed everybody something. They didn't even draft a wide receiver afterwards, which is another slap in the face. And then, like I was saying about the Bengals, they surrounded their quarterback with guys. And then last year, the whole entire league knew that their offensive line was terrible, and it's pretty much the reason why they lost in the Super Bowl. But they went out and they signed guys. This is what teams do that want to win. This is what teams do that believe in their quarterback. You spoke about the Raiders a little bit before, and they were trying. I mean, you draft Henry Ruggs.
I mean, I would say 2 years ago they
know?
started trying to, but Brian Edwards, here's my issue. The people that they drafted were more towards the long road, and Derek Carr wanted to start winning sooner, and we all knew Brian Edwards was too much of a project. That's why we sent him away. He wasn't in an offense where he was playing better. Henry Ruggs was nice, but like any Raider fan probably can tell you from a mile away that Justin Jefferson from that class was going to be better. And further into it, I mean, Max Crosby, one of the biggest steals that we, saw in the third. I mean, he was so. It was kind of out of nowhere. Like, I had not watched too much tape of him, but I knew, once I actually got to watch tape on him, like, he was gonna be good in this league. Like, and that was the staple of this defense. Trayvon Mullen, great picks, but I questioned this team because I like Josh Jacobs. I'm gonna keep telling you, like, I love Josh Jacobs, but like, should he have been a first round pick? No, I don't believe running backs in this league should be drafted in the first round, no matter how talented you are. That's the place you are playing the most replaceable position in football. And then just we all knew. I mean, Leatherwood to me is he's another guy that's kind of working and building, but he was not a bad pick until I see better. I think he's gonna be better, but believing in your quarterback is the number one stage, and I don't think they're gonna pay Lamar as much as like he deserves his pay. He's gone through hell, but man, Lamar, we pray for you, bro. You are in one shitty ass position, bro.
They're not gonna give him that Kyler contract, and it's no way anybody could say that Lamar Jackson didn't deserve that contract that Kyler Murray got. Like, I don't want to hear it, man. This guy won an MVP
to me,
award.
He's worth more.
Facts.
He's better. Okay, Can anyone actually argue that like Kyler's better than Lamar? No, we can't. Kyler's a better rusher. He may not have the biggest arm, but we don't know what he actually has of an arm. If he is not able to trust his receivers to go downfield. Like, and it's much more about like, yes, I like John Harbaugh, all the respect in the world, but man, you fucking suck at building the team. Like, and as much respect as I have for him, he's never really built over these past 5 years a team that I felt like was great in the terms of like, now we're moving to a league where you need to have depth. The Ravens haven't had depth, and that showed last year. I get it. Tons of injuries. And it's not like this year they have any more depth. I mean, they're really basing this team on defense.
Yeah, this is gonna be a bad year for the Ravens, I think. I mean, I'm looking up who they drafted here, and number one or first round pick Kyle Hamilton. Number two, David Ajabo. He's not going to be playing. Round three, I don't think they had a round three pick. Then they get David Foley, offensive tackle, out of Minnesota. They follow that up with getting a cornerback. So your first four picks, three of those guys are defensive, and then you get Tyler Bad. This guy's name is Batty. Tyler Batty in the sixth round. Like, these are bad decisions that bad teams make. And I would not be surprised if we see a down year out of the Ravens and everybody's calling from Lamar to switch to tight end or something. But yeah. I don't want to make this show turn into the Ravens bash bowl, because we go on and on and on about how
it's
the
not
Ravens
even like I want to bash them, but I have to a certain extent. It's like they're doing nothing for their quarterback, who is, to me, he's a top 6-7 quarterback and he can do so much better than that. Like, but
yeah, he has potential. And when you're in a bad organization, they do stuff like this. I mean, the Dolphins even went out and tried to do something. I mean, Cole Beasley would be perfect for Lamar Jackson. I mean, he might not be the best blocker out there, but if Lamar Jackson just had somebody else that he could go to as a check down option each and every time,
that could be his slot option. But on the outside, man, if you can have entering your final 6 or 5 to 6 weeks possibly, and you have Odell and Cole Beasley as your two options, your two top targets with Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews, you're giving your quarterback something. Now, beyond this year, if you're keeping him, if you keep Lamar, their number one focus in this next draft has to be giving some type of talent that they keep. Because when I saw that Marquise Brown was traded, I thought for sure they were going to go after a receiver at some point in that draft. When they lost Sammy Watkins, they should have gone after someone to replace the missed pieces. But they didn't.
Yeah, and I'm right now I'm looking up there. I hope my thing isn't freezing. My thing just froze for me. Right now I'm looking up who they're paying, man, and it looks like Rashad Bateman is getting paid more than Lamar Jackson, which is ridiculous. He's still in his rookie contract. We'll see what all happens with that, but that's ridiculous. Yeah.
You know what I kind of find funny? Somehow, it's kind of funny if you think about it. Somehow the Titans have more trust in Ryan Tannehill than the Ravens do in Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. I can't even find his contract on his website though. Huh?
Is he making money or is he playing for free? What the fuck?
He could be getting paid more than that. Maybe I just skipped over his name, but I do not see Lamar Jackson on this web. Oh, nope. Yep. I skipped over his name. Where'd he go? Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Rashad Bateman is getting paid more than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, he has a 4-year, $9 million deal. Rashad Bateman, 4-year, $12.5 million. That is ridiculous. That is
hey, I hit
90. Upside down world.
That was kind of random.
Upside down world. That is crazy right there. But hey, Lamar's gonna be coming for that bag. I hope he gets it. Any final words about the NFL awards?
Man, I think if you look at, did we talk about MVP?
No, we just did offensive rookie. Yeah,
Okay.
we just did offensive rookie
Okay.
and offensive
Well,
player. Go
I
ahead.
think a
Name your
dark
MVP.
horse MVP this year is Derek Carr with the team that he has.
He definitely has the potential. Like Derek Carr. You got Hunter Renfro. You got Devontae Adams, top 5 wide receiver, hands down, top 2, top 3, really. And if he
Darren
comes
Waller.
out, oh man, I didn't even mention Darren Waller. If
Yeah.
he comes out and win, whoever wins the AFC, I think that quarterback has the potential of being the MVP. Whether if
Yeah.
it's
No.
Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, who I do not like, Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
or Derek
I
Carr, they
I
deserve to
can't
get MVP. Whoever
I
it
can't
is,
stand the people who actually like are putting like Herbert over Russ when healthy. I'm like, stop it.
it's
You know what?
disrespectful. It's
I think the
disrespectful.
worst argument I've seen is Herbert over Tom Brady. I'm just like, stop. It's not. No, it's not there. Y'all need to chill. I think Herbert's like the 6th, 7th best quarterback in this league. He is.
Herbert's good, but I think the numbers really inflate what he did last year. If you watch the game, the numbers just don't even match. You just see a guy throwing the football 40 times a game. And it's just when you're one of these people who just look at stats and don't actually watch the game, you'll say
That
take like he's better than Tom Brady when it's clearly night and day, bro. Like that is incredibly disrespectful.
I'm still taking Russell Wilson over him. I'm still taking Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I'm taking a bunch of quarterbacks.
I would take
And
Lamar Jackson over
you
Justin.
know, I was clowning Keenan Allen the other day yesterday because he publicly went out to say Derek Carr was the 4th best quarterback in the class in our division. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that how's it feel to be how's it feel to be sent home by the 4th best quarterback in our division? Then? I mean, this guy's like, he just made himself look like a fool when he said that. I was like, okay, I guess you just got sent home by the 4th best quarterback in our division.
Yeah, Keenan Allen really takes the rivalry to heart. Did you see him making fun of Broncos? Let's ride. Did you see him making fun of that?
Did you see what he said also? He also came out to say that he felt like he was the top 5 wide receiver in the league. I was like,
top 5 slowest wide receivers in the league.
this guy, you know what? Mind you, talking about how I think he ranked himself the 4th best in the league right now. So the 4th best receiver in this league put up less than 50 yards against the Raiders in Week 18 in a must-win game. That's crazy. I guess, hey, man. That's crazy.
Whenever it matters, he folds. No, when Phillips was there, he did it.
I'm not even taking him over Mike Evans when healthy. Like, Mike Evans has been doing this shit for 9 goddamn years, and people, how did that guy become so underrated? It's crazy.
He's not flashy. He's not flashy. He comes
but
out.
He doesn't have to
job.
be. He still gets the stats. He still puts up great numbers. And he's had Blaine Gabbert, bro. He's had some shit show quarterbacks. And you know what? When he had Jameis Winston, Jameis Winston was shitty. I'm not trying to hear this. 30-30 is not impressive, but
no,
he wasn't accurate. He wasn't on target. And the 1 year, I know it probably sounds higher than really, but most targets are higher than this. But the catch percentage of targets that were thrown to him the 1 year, I think, under Jameis Winston was like 65%. Like, he had 65% catchable targets thrown to him, and he still hit 1,000+ yards. And people have bashed him. They're like, how you barely able to hit 1,000 yards, Mike? But he's hit 1,000 yards every year of his career. Like, to me, he's a top 20 wide receiver probably ever. I mean, I don't think there's many receivers that have done like what he's done. If you have 9 straight years of 1,000+ yards, that's impressive to me. That's all I'm trying to say, bro.
Facts. That's Mr. Consistency. That's like Larry Fitzgerald, man. That's like the stuff that he was doing. And he didn't really get the credit he deserved until he made that late playoff push. And then in his career, we know how that happened.
Well, he had the longevity, he had the numbers and all that. He probably has an argument for a top 10 wide receiver all time, probably up in the top 5. You can say top 5 too, honestly. And there's been debates for that. So, to me, he's in the top 5. I would have to really make a list to really give you guys a number, but again, it's consistency. That's when I'm ranking, I'm looking for consistency. I'm not going to sit here and as much respect as I'm going to give to Jamar Chase, I'm not putting him in my top 5. I did the same thing with Justin Jefferson. I think with rookies, it's hard for me to put rookies in the top 5 if that's not what I've ever done. And I'm going to a certain extent to say, I want to see 2 seasons at least. Like, I want to see more than 1 season because we did this shit with Saquon Barkley where we put him in the top 5 after 1 year, and then what happened? Injuries. I don't want that to be the case with these other guys that I'm putting high. But Najee Harris, to me, if he has another great season like he just did, I think he's top 5. And, we'll see what Javonte Williams does in year 2. I mean, he had a pretty good rookie year, and he'll have a great year for year 2.
Yeah, definitely. The thing with Javonte is how we manage him. We signed Melvin Gordon back for another year, but these running backs can get injured any play, any moment. And Javonte, the way he plays, this guy could get injured anytime. If he stays healthy, it's going to be amazing. I mean, he led the league last year in broken tackles, but still, health is everything. Health is wealth.
I do think I want him to be in the role that he's kind of in. Like, I don't want him to be an every down back like Todd Gurley was, because again, Todd Gurley, as good as he was, he had his flaws. He was always injured, and that's not something you want to see with these young guys. But you saw it with Josh Jacobs. He was a bell cow. He was consistent as fuck, bro. And he still put up 1,000 yards most seasons, but injuries caught up to him. And that's what I said. Like, I like him in the role that he's going to be in. And if he honestly, to me, it's going to come down to, is he want the money or does he want to stay a longer career in the NFL and make them more money? And I think he can do that if he becomes a Raider for good and takes a longer contract, less money. I think if he can just take less money and become a guy that is there and there, it's less touches, but he can get more yards.
Speaking of Jacobs, why the hell was he playing last night?
Probably because they wanted to see him in action, because he's kind of been in and out of training camp.
Okay.
Him and Zamir White have been both in and out, but they both had. I liked what I saw from Jacobs because he really hasn't had that burst of speed that we saw last night. So maybe we're seeing a different Jacobs. Maybe he finally has. Maybe why he's been missing so much of training camp is he's been working on his strength in his legs and be able to get a burst. And I think he's finally getting that. He looked like he had a burst in his legs last night. Like, he was hitting these bursts of speed out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, Amir Abdul looked nice too last night.
Dude, I remember walking away from the TV, and the first thing I saw was him doing that swing kick. I'm like, this guy did a whole fucking karate kick.
Turning the Jet Li out there.
Man, we turned this into a longer stream than we probably planned on, but we did have to talk on a few things. Like Lamar Jackson, bro. Hopefully you get the bag. If it's not with the Ravens, get the fuck out of there. That's all I got.
Go to Seattle if need be, man. I mean, there's so many other places that Lamar Jackson can go and be appreciated that aren't the Baltimore Ravens.
Though, I think the Seattle Seahawks. Well, Lamar, honestly, if he went to the Falcons with Drake London and Kyle Pitts, ooh, shit.
That would be crazy.
You give him some real weapons, bro. Oh, no.
That would be. I would go to some games. I would go to some games for real.
Nah. If you gave him that core, also with Cordarrelle Patterson, bro. Nah, bro. Man. But I might do one more video, guys, like before the season starts, to give AFC predictions, just in case more injuries happen. As we've all seen, actually, the Buccaneers are falling apart. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there, but do you guys got the Ravens medical staff? Holy shit.
Hey, it's Brady's last season. No more Brady. I'm happy.
How mad would you be if he didn't win the championship and he came back for another year?
It's 46. This guy's gonna have to get pulled out on the stretcher to get out of the league. 46.
Imagine he played till 50. Oh my god.
Imagine his kids in the league.
He's about to pull some Bronny shit and just play against his kids, bro. Super Bowl 50 or 63. Tom Brady versus Tom Brady Jr.
That would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous. But that's been the show, everybody. It's been your boy Joy Talk. Silver and Black Report. Let them know where they can find you at.
If you guys go search up the Silver and Black Report, or we can, if you guys go find Raiders _ updater 2022, my link is in my bio there. So subscribe, get me to 100 subs. I'm almost there. I hit 90 tonight actually while I was here.
Hey, I'm on the road to 300 right now, man. I'm 10 away. So all my subscribers, please make sure y'all go ahead, support them. That grind to 1K for all YouTubers is huge. Subscribe, it's free. Like some videos, it's free. It won't hurt you. Just go ahead and get it done.
Takes 2 seconds.
Exactly. Thank you for checking in with your boy Joy Talks. Link below to my Instagram down below in the comments. I just got the new Xbox, so new Madden is going to be crazy in about 10 days whenever it comes out. So please make sure you're checking that out.
Man, I'm gonna be fucking up some. Man, I'm gonna be fucking some people up online with them damn Raiders.
Hey, it's gonna be a good one, man. It's gonna be a good one. We gone.